Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Thursday, October the 3rd, 2024. I'm Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the executive minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ plus community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is the justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ plus community.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections. This is live, and then we are available on demand. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform and social media.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we are here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Honest Abe might have been Homo Abe. Patrick Ryan of USA Today wrote last month that the film Lover of Men is a new documentary that sheds light on the idea that the 16th U.S. president had multiple male companions, y'all. Throughout his life, even after he married Mary Todd Lincoln. Sucky now. The subject has been debated for years, with scholars sharing letters and first-hand accounts showing hints that Lincoln had meaningful queer relationships. The documentary asserts that Lincoln had long-term relationships with several men. As a young man, Lincoln apparently shared a cot with a man for about 18 months. And his cot mate described Lincoln's thighs as, quote, perfect. Communal sleeping wasn't unknown in the 19th century, especially among those of modest means. But Lincoln, it seems, continued to share sleeping space with many men for years. Additionally, there were very steamy letters, especially between Lincoln and a man named Joshua Speed. It is difficult to believe Lincoln may have been gay or bi, and if he was, how does that impact LGBTQ Americans today? Well, Honest Abe was Honest Abe, and let's just be honest, Abe could have been one or the other, and more power to him. So, but that aside, great president from historical reading. He was president who led us through a very difficult time, a very challenging time. He's got us through it. And whoever his companions were along the way that got him through that, more power to them, because it's always sometimes about the person behind the person who's doing it that's giving them encouragement and everything else. And there's Mary, who's doing her role and with the kids. But here's Honest Abe, just being honest, from about 16 years old and sharing cots and writing steamy love letters and all this other kind of stuff. And I love the description of the cot mate. His legs were his
thighs.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I went to legs. Okay.
Well, that's telling, isn't it?
Well, Lincoln was very tall. Very tall guy. So anyway, any shred of truth to it, plausible, yes. Gay, bi, plausible, who knows? And yet it still makes a wonderful story about a great president of the United States of America. And it also gives those who need someone to look up to that comes from that, saying, that could be me as well.
There are one or two other presidents that seem to fit, the profile of a gay man, and also leaders, powerful people, often have a different set of rules, and so you can't name a king or emperor or dictator or even a lot of presidents that didn't have a mistress or something, so that he would have had activities outside of his marriage would not be uncommon, would not be a huge scandal, and that one or more of those just might happen to have been same-sex experiences, but that he would have had extramarital relationships. Welcome to being a leader of any country in the world for most of history. And a lot of them were gay and bi at that. What it says, I think, to people though now is that, let's just say, for the sake of argument's true, he was big O, he was either complete closet case, or he was bi, or he was pan, or whatever. He enjoyed the company of men. let's just take that as a truth and buy it full price. What that would say is that from his speeches, from his leadership, from his actions, that being a same gender loving person does not taint one's morality, does not keep one from making moral decisions, does not keep one from being a good and strong leader, does not keep one from having strong character, that one can be gay and gifted. In fact, those gifts may be so amazing that they can change or even save the world. And so that's why it would matter. What made him happy, what made him feel whole, that's his life. The society would or would not let him do that openly. That's the burdens people bear. But what is exciting for our time is that if he was gay, he is an example of what gay people bring to the history of the world. And of course, there are dozens of others we can name, from Alexander the Great and on, Walt Whitman and so on. But that he joins that cloud of witnesses as gifted, same gender loving people who make an amazing impact in the world.
Right. And I think what it does for LGBTQ plus people today is I think it kind of gives us permission to really dig deeper into the lives of some historical folk, to find out maybe a little bit more about them, maybe things that were not in our classroom history books, or things that you might find in mainstream biographies, that kind of thing. If we can dig a little deeper and learn more about them, we'll find out that maybe they were a little more like us than we had anticipated or were ever taught.
P.S. Reverend Ann has the gayest watch ever.
You like my watch?
Show them your rainbow watch.
That's my Swatch watch. My little Swatch watch.
As I was listening to the story, I was thinking back to history. In history, it was not uncommon for same-sex relationships. And in the Roman times, same-sex relationships were encouraged because, generally speaking, if you were in the same cot as your lover, when you're out on the battlefield, you're going to fight that much harder for your lover. So
yeah.
I think that our modern times are the times when we started looking differently at same-sex relationships. And I don't know where the fear of those relationships comes from, because who I sleep with doesn't affect anybody else other than my consensual partner, whether that be a male or a female, or just why do we spend so much time worrying about who people sleep with? If they're happy and if they're Abe Lincoln and they're leading a nation into a brave new world, then we need more Abe Lincolns in the world. We need more people who are not afraid to express themselves privately, maybe, but express themselves in ways that society may not have appreciated. So, yay, Sister Abe.
And being different and knowing that he couldn't live openly about his difference may have contributed to his empathy for other people suffering oppression and
Right.
I mean, he had white privilege. He had prosperity. He had education. All in alternative ways, by the way. He was basically a self-educated lawyer, but he had a lot going for him, and he used that to good effect. But if he couldn't be all of who he was and be accepted and be cherished for who he was, then that might have given him some insight into other people who couldn't live fully as the people they are. So his if he were gay, that might have been part of why he cared about other people who were different and were devalued for being different.
And I think, in my time, 'cause the first president I kind of remember is President Carter, based on when I was born. And I think when I think about the president since then, I probably would say there have probably been two presidencies I would probably be willing to swear on the Bible that I'm pretty sure they honor their vows. And that would be President and Rosalind Carter, and also the Obamas, because it was never reported that President Obama got hot grits poured on him by the First Lady, Michelle Obama. So,
Well, there you go.
So, again, for Abe, it's like, example setting, leadership setting, and all that goes along with even that position. But to be able to live your life as authentically as you possibly can, even under the scrutiny of all the eyes that are on you, well done to him.
Yep.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.